Hello, test. Can you hear me? So hello everyone, welcome to my second YouTube live. We will wait for a while and then we will start our live. So right now just listen to music and be chill. Okay, let me set up my equipment for a while. Hello, test. Hello, test. How is my sound? It is good or it's too quiet? Okay, I think the sound is pretty good now. Okay. So and now how about my drawing pen, digital pen? You can see the yellow line, right? Okay, so yes, in the live stream. Now I see. Okay, the digital pen works well as well. Now the sound is also pretty good. Okay, let's wait for 2 minutes and then we will start our live. Right now, just listen to music. Okay, greeting everyone again. Greeting from Thailand. Now it is 9:35 p.m. in my time zone in Thailand. So, how about your country? It is still in the day or in night? Yes, I hope everything is good today. So now let's start our live. And today live is the accelerated reading. We will know how to read 2 times faster and retain more information. So either you are a student in high school, in junior high school, in college, in university, or whether you already or you already work. So everyone have to deal with reading, right? And it's so obvious for students because you have to read, you have to do the exams, you have to test, and you have to learn. Okay, and for workers, you also have to read emails, right? Read socials, read news. You have to communicate it by not communicate it, sorry, communicate by uh, write and read, right? So reading is related to everyone. And let's imagine that if we can read 2 times faster or more than 2 times, how much we can save time. And if you have more time, what will you do with it? Maybe you can do more works, right? For workers, you can be more productive. And for students, you can have more time to play. Yes, I know because I also like playing when I was in schools and university. Or if you want to learn more, imagine that you have more time and you can learn 2 subjects uh, in a day or in the same time as the previous one. Okay, you can be more productive by read faster. But how we can read faster and retain more information in this live, I will tell you. So don't miss the live. And if you want uh, to share, to have your friend or people you care want to know this technique, okay, you can share this YouTube live. Okay, let's start the detail. Okay, I hope you can see my PowerPoint. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's start our real context. Okay. So what will you gain from this live? Okay, first you will know many reading techniques that can help you read faster and be more productive about reading. And other techniques such as skimming and scanning, speed reading, comprehensive reading, and some tips that also help you read faster. Some factors that influence our reading, environment, so on and so forth. That I will tell you in this live, and some science behind. Okay. So first we have to think why do we have to care about reading? why reading is so important to us. As I said in the beginning, if you are a student, the reading is directly related to you, related to us, because we have to learn, right? We have to do exam, we have to do report for some students, so on and so forth. And if you are workers, right, you already work in industry or in the real working place, you need to read, right, communicate, read email, write email, read documents, so on and so forth. So you have to dealing with it. And another thing that's very important, because of right now in the present, we have a lot of data, more than a decade ago. So this is a quote from Eric Schmidt, a former CEO of Google. He says, there were 5 exabytes of information created between the dawn of civilization to the year 2003, but that much information is now created every 2 days. So you can see that there is a lot of big information right now nowadays in the present. So we cannot use the conventional or traditional method as we used to use it a long time ago, because in that time, in decade ago, the amount of information is not so much as now in the present. So we have to change our method of how to read, how to learn, how to memorize, and so on and so forth. Okay, and this is also important. How do we usually read? How do we usually read? Okay, I have some example of text. I hope you see the text is it is quite small if you use smartphone. Okay, but if you use a laptop or a big screen tablet, I think you can see it pretty well. Okay, I see it's on my phone, and yet it is still readable. Okay, how we usually read the text, the article. Okay, uh, back then I hope even in other countries might be similar to my country, to my experience. When I was in junior high school or elementary school, the teacher will ask students to read, to stand up from their desk and then read the text, the sentences in the book, read around word by word. Okay. For example, if I have this story, it is from the Fur and Feather story. So what I used to read back then, I will read like this. The pride and joy of Mama Ostrich were her 2 baby chicks, hatched from her very own eggs. Right, like this, okay? Word by word, slowly, clearly. Right, I think other countries might be similar to my experience to Thailand. Right, but is this kind of reading work right now? Because you can see it's quite slow, right? This is the problem with traditional reading methods, right? When we used to study in school, or if you are a student, junior high schooler or a high schooler right now, you will confront this problem directly. Right? This method is too slow, so boring, and it's very easy to forget the past context. Right? When we read, for example, when we read to like this, one day when Mama Asif returned home from blah 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 blah, it is very easy to forget the previous context. It is very easy to forget what the previous paragraph tell us about, right? And it is why the traditional method is not so work, right? It is slow, boring, and easy to forget. So this the important question, and we will find the answer to this question. How can we read faster? Okay, so you might know about these two methods pretty well, skimming and scanning. But are they really good? Let's see. I have the same story. It's just part of the story, not the full story. Just to be an example to this life. Okay. So first, let's speak about skimming. Right? Some people may know about skimming, some people not. So I will use the yellow color to explain about skimming method. Right. So what is skimming? Okay. Skimming is kind of we read some part of the paragraph, right, to see the keyword. For example, okay, I will use this paragraph one day to this one. Skimming suggests us to read kind of the beginning of the paragraph, right? At the beginning. No. Okay. The middle of the paragraph and at the end of the paragraph. It's quite small right now because I put too much text in the slide. Okay. So usually we will read this one, this the first sentence. Also she returned home from gathering food for her 2 chicks. Okay, write this. And middle of the paragraph, maybe around this, imagine her alive when she discovered lion tracks, so on and so forth. And at the end, like fearful but determined to find her baby, so on and so forth. So skimming methods is we try to catch some sentences in the paragraph in the beginning, middle, and at the end of the paragraph to find the core of the story, to find what that paragraph want to tell us. This is the skimming method. And okay, I will use pink color to explain the scanning method. I think scanning has no double N. Scanning. What is the scanning method? Scanning method is you read all the text word by word, left to right and up to down if you are international. But for Japanese, you read yes, right to left, I think. It's just especially for Japanese. But in for other countries except Japanese, we read left to right, up to down, right? So we will read one day when Mama Osish returned home from gathering food for her 2 chicks. She looked and looked for them but could not find them anywhere. Blah 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 blah. We read every word, every sentence in the paragraph. This is a scanning method. So you can see that skimming and scanning is, let's see, how it's not quite good, okay? Or some people may seem it's pretty good. Skimming, the pros and cons of skimming is okay. It's really fast skimming, right? You just read about 3 sentences in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end of the paragraph. It's pretty fast, yes. But the cons is you will miss many contexts by using skimming, right? If that paragraph is quite long. So my example is just a small paragraph. Imagine that that paragraph is pretty long. So you read just 3 sentences, you will miss many contexts in that paragraph, and then you will misinterpret it. Okay, you might understand it wrong from what the author want to tell us. So this is the concept of skimming method. And the scanning method. Its process is okay. we cover all, almost all, maybe all context in the paragraph. So we will know all context. We will not miss any context. But the cons is too slow and it's really boring, right? The scanning method is quite similar to the traditional way we read, right? So you can see that the skimming and scanning is, yes, it's maybe good in some context, but not all. What we want is we want to combine the approach how we can read also fast and cover all contexts or as many contexts as possible, right? We want these two. We want both fast and cover all contexts. But skimming and scanning do not answer this purpose to us. So I will tell you the new technique that can help you read faster and cover many contexts and still remember all the context you have read. And so I introduced you these techniques which we call speed reading. Some people may already heard about speed reading, but I have to tell you that maybe your speed reading may not similar or may not same to what I will tell you in this live. So yes, please listen to the next upcoming detail because it's not similar to what you have known. So what is the speed reading technique? Okay, let me change slide. Speed reading technique is just you try to read with speed. You speed up your reading. But some people may question about it. So if we read it so fast, how can we remember the detail, right? So okay, before we go to that, I will give you an example of speed reading. So if we normally read this text, right, it is the same story. In generally, in the traditional way, we read the pride and joy of Mama Ostrich were her two baby chicks, like this. But in speed reading, we will speed up our reading, okay? But then no need to talk while reading. So, but I will talk because I will show you how speed change up. Okay, if we use speed reading, the writer of she for her very to very she catch from her over on it like this. Even me is hard to pronounce when I speed up. But it's like it. So speed reading is you speed up your traditional way of reading. So you still read all text, read all words, all sentences, but just speed up. Okay. Now the question is, if we speed up so fast, how can we remember the detail? So, so many people have the problem when try to read faster. Uh, most people have a problem with cannot catch the idea of the paragraph of the story. So it's not quite. They might seem it's not quite a smart way to do because when you read fast, you save time, but you cannot remember anything, right? So I have to tell you about this. The two things that we have to consider. First one is speed, and the second one is comprehension. How much can we understand the text, which is the comprehension. So speed, we speed up, as we know, right? As we already told, speed up. But the comprehension, if we speed up the reading, how can we understand how we can comprehend the text? We have to understand this. I will tell you some science behind it. But before I go to that, we want both speed and understand the text, right? Remember the text and comprehend the text. We want both of this. But how? How we speed up the reading and still understand, still comprehends the paragraph, comprehends the story. We have to understand this science. Okay, before I have a word, red car. I will ask you how you understand this word. Do you understand SREDCAR, or you understand like this one? A picture of a red car. Which one we understand? And it is exactly that what we understand is this picture. It might be different model, different style of the car, but it's just a red color of a car. Whatever models, whatever style of the car. But we understand as a picture. This is how our brain works. Okay, so our brain understands things as a picture, and words are just a symbol to trigger that picture. So we have to understand it. When we read a text or a clause, just a clause, our brain understands it as a picture, not a text, not REDCAR. No, so not REDCAR like this. No, but we understand it. Our brain understands it as a picture. Just some car. Okay. Yes, I used to. I need to use a red color. Okay, let's say pink. Yes, red car. Like this. Okay, this is what our brain works. So when we use speed reading, okay, I will read to you again slowly. Okay, not slowly, but I will read to you over to understand the context first, and I will show you how our brain should understand this context, right, as a picture. So the pride and joy of Mama Ostrich were two baby chicks, were her two baby chicks, hatched from her very own eggs. So I will mark this as number one. Okay, oh no, number one. Okay, into this. Then one day, when Mama Ostrich returned home from gathering food for her two dear chicks, she looked and looked for them, but could not find them anywhere. So I will use this as number two. Number two. Number two. She looked and looked but couldn't find them anywhere. This is my number three. Right. I hope you can see my number three. Imagine her alarm when discovered lion tracks. Right. Around her two-footed chicks tracks. Fearful but determined to find her babies, she followed the lion tracks. This is number four. Okay. You can see what I write the number is the core picture, the core things, the core story, not the core story, the core sentence of the sentences. Okay. So when our brain try to understand this text blah 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 blah, we can understand them as just few pictures. And I have some examples to this. Okay. This is what our brain should understand. Do you remember my number one? Which is the pride of Mama Ostrich is her two baby chicks. Right? These are my pictures. I might not be a good artist, but I hope you understand. Okay. This is the first part. The first text tell about. We can imagine these pictures in our brain. You may have a different picture from mine because I'm not such a good artist, but you can see some idea to this. And then number 2, right, which can be this picture. The mama or fish go out to find food, right? There's number 2. They go to find food, right? And then when the mama or fish come back, she couldn't find her 2 baby chicks, right? The chicks are missing. This is my number 3, right? The chicks are missing. And then number 4, the mama ostrich find tracks of the lion, right? So here is my number 4. Okay. Yes. So we can see that from the text, right? Several text, several sentences can be just few pictures, right? This is what our brain works. Our brain does not understand text as a text. We understand things as a picture, and then we just, let's say, it's translate the text to picture and translate that picture to the text again. So this is how brain works. So brain is this. Not true. So picture, right? No, let's say this. We have text, right? That is what we read, and text will translate to pictures, right? Picture. This is what happened in our brain. Brain. And then the brain will translate again as text or as a speech. If you want to talk, if you want to tell about it, right? As a text or speech, it is pretty similar. Okay. Here. So we can apply this principle to speed reading. When we read fuzzy, we understand the text as a picture. So we don't understand, we do not try to understand text as a text, but we translate many sentences, paragraph as pictures. Maybe you can imagine it as just one picture or few pictures. It depends on you, right? Depend on your imagination. There is no rule. You can do whatever you want with your picture, with your imagination. Another tips that help you read fast and retain more information is use your fingers, just one finger. When you want to read a text, okay, let's go back. You can use a finger, okay. If you read on paper, you can use your index finger, okay, and then you point, follow the word you read. No, like this. The pride and joy of my mouth is for her 2 baby chicks hatched from her very own eggs. Using a finger can help you focus more on the text. So it will help you reduce the forgetting of the word or the previous text you have read and keep you focused on the text. And also help you read faster because you have more concentration. You can focus more. So that's it. This will make you read faster as well. Okay, so remember, use your finger. But if you read on a laptop or a tablet, you can, if you read on tablet, you can use your finger as well. But in laptop, you can use mouse, right? The mouse cursor. I don't have, okay. Yes, you can use mouse cursors instead of your finger. You can use any tools that help that keep you focused on the text you read. Is to help you become more focused, and you help you read faster and retain more information. And don't forget, when our brain try to understand something, we understand it. Our brain understand it as a picture, not text. Okay, please remember this. Okay, okay, just your finger. Don't forget. Now, I see. It's just 30 minutes. Pretty fast for today live. At first, I think it will be about 1 hour, but today is really fast because I already have pictures. If I don't have pictures, I have to take time to draw it. And I hope you like my stitch. Okay, this is your workshop. Okay, you can try it at home because last time I do this live and the workshop took about half an hour, which is too long. So I will give you an instruction here, and you can try it at home. Okay. The workshop has 4 attempts. So firstly, before you take any attempts, you may find any kind of books you want to read. Maybe um, any books. Exactly, it is literally any books. So maybe the kind of self-improvement book or newspaper or article, academic article, or whatever you want to read. Okay, so you prepare the books or the article you want to read first, and then you do these 4 attempts. The first attempt is you set your timer, the time limit. Set it as 4 minutes. Okay. First set a timer for 4 minutes. And then read the text or read the book you prepare with your usual method. Okay, maybe let's call it just traditional way. Like scanning or just slowly reading or whatever you usually read by your method. Okay, first by your method. Then after finish with 4 minutes, after finish reading with 4 minutes, you count the total words in the first 2 lines of your article, of your paragraph, of your stories, and then average the number of the words, and then you will get the number of words per line. Okay, words per line. Then you count the total number of lines you read from the beginning till the end, the last word in the end, when the time is up. Okay. Then you count the total number of lines. But if that line is not full, okay, you include that line when there is greater or equal half of that line. I will show you an example, and you will understand it. Okay, you count number of the line you totally read in the time limit, and then the last step is you calculate the words per line, which is my number 2, word per line. Okay, word per line. Multiply with the number of line you read, line, and then totally you divide them by the minutes you read, which is in the first step, the 4 minutes, right? We have 4 minutes in the first step. Okay, so you count words, number of words per line, and then multiply by the total line you read, then divide by 4 in the first attempt. And here is the example. Okay, I will give you example to help you understand more clearly. Okay, we have the same story. Okay, for example, I read 4 minutes. I can read from beginning, which is here, right? And in the end, I can read that this one, okay, tracks. Okay, I finish with this. So this is for my 4 minutes, right? So in the step 2, we have to average the number of words per line. So what per line, my number of words per line is averagely is okay. We can count. This my the first word 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So in 2 lines, I have 18 words, right? In 2 lines, I have 18 words. So averagely, I have 9 words per line. Okay, I have 9 words per line. Let me use just a cursive out. Okay, I have 9 words per line. And in the step 3, how many lines I totally read? So I have okay, this the first line is full line, right? So I count it as 1. Okay, let me change to blue color. This one line. Okay, and then in the second line, it is not full, but it's greater than half of a line. Okay, this is about half of a line, but this line is longer than half of a line, so we include it. So I count it as line number 2. Here is full, right? It's full a line, so we count it as line number 3. Next, also full line. Okay, we count it number 4. Okay, also full. 5, also full of a line. 6, but here in the last line, I finished just in the word tracks. It's not full of the line, but it is still greater than half of a line. So we also count it as line number 7. So totally, the total number of the line is 7. Okay, I have 7 line. So if we calculate it, we have 9 word per line, right? We have totally 7 lines. And we took 4 minutes to finish reading. So what we will get is, okay, let me write on this one. It's quite messed right now. Okay, it is how much? It's 33 by 4. It's about, yes, it's almost 14, right? It's almost 14 word per minute. Okay, you can count on this. We will get this one, the words per minute. But in some case that, for example, this line, okay, let me clear my screen first because it's so messy right now. Okay. In some case, or in the case that you've finished reading, let's say here, okay, you finish reading at the word track. Here is less than half of a line, right? So we will not include it. We, for example, if in the 4 minutes you finish at this word, at tracks. How to count it? So we have from these two, right? We have 9 word per line, right? And so let me change the color. Just don't want to confuse you. Okay. The yellow color is number of words per line, right? Words per line. And blue color is the total number of line. So we have 1 line, 2 line, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we do not include this line because it's less than half of a line. So we will totally have just 8 line. And uh, there is averagely 9 words per line. Okay, so we calculate 9 times 7, sorry, 9 times 8, 8, I will write again, uh, 9 words per line, with 8 lines totally, and we took 4 minutes, right? So we will have about 18, it's not just about, it's uh, it exactly 18 words per minute. Okay, this is how we count the number of words per minute. So this is the first attempt. You use your conventional way, your usual method. Okay, set time for 4 minutes. Use your traditional way. Then calculate the number of words per minute. Okay, and then you take a note, you take a log that how many words you can read in a minute. Okay, and then we will go to the second attempt. Now we set the time limit at 2 minutes. Let me use blue color. 2 minutes, right? But in the second attempt, you read while using your finger. Using your finger in this attempt, and then you follow the same instruction number 2, 3, and 4 as the first attempt. You first calculate the average words per line, then count the total number of lines you read, and then you calculate the number of words per minute. Okay, and see how many words per minute you can read. Is it faster or not? And you can see it's the second attempt. Now, if you finish the second attempt, go to the third attempt, change from 2 minutes to 1 minute. Change to 1 minute. But right now, try to speed up the reading. Also use your finger, but you don't need to care about understanding in the context. So just try to read faster, okay? But do not care about understanding the context. Okay, just try to read faster and use your finger. And step 2, 3, and 4, try to calculate the number of words per minute, which is same as the second and the first attempt. Okay. And count the number of words per minute and see how many words you can read faster in a minute. Right. Right now, after you finish the third attempt, here is the final one, the fourth attempt. Similar to the previous attempt, you still speed up your reading, and use your finger without caring about understanding the context, right? Without caring about understanding in the context. But here you set the time limit only in 30 seconds or 0.5 minutes, right? And then calculate the number of words per minute. Okay. So in this case, instead of you divide by 4, 2, or 1 minute, you divide by 0.5 minute. Okay. And you can see how much faster you can read. But some people may ask, if we don't consider about how we understand the context. So how it's gonna work, because it's even though we can read faster, but without understanding any context, it is useless, right? So the truth is this. The truth is, as I said before, our brain understand the text, understand things as a picture, and the text are just words, or text are just a symbol to trigger it. Okay, as I said, like this. And I said like this. Our brain understands things as a picture, and words are just a symbol to trigger it. So, in the beginning, when you try to train this method, speed reading, you will definitely don't understand anything. Honestly, you will not understand any text. But our brain is like a muscle. When we train more, when we go to a gym and train, lift a weight, our muscle will get stronger, right? Our brain similar to our muscle. We have to train uh, this method. It takes time. It takes time to our brain to uh, evolve, not evolve, actually, just try to uh, neuroplastically, and maybe I use this too much science word. Yes, if we take times to train, we can uh, achieve this method. Okay. In the first time I tried this method, I also didn't understand anything because it's so fast and it's why I don't say it's too fast. But after I trained, 2 weeks later, uh, I got used to it more because I felt more familiar with it. So my brain can catch up with the speed. And then in a month later, yes, I feel more comfortable with the speed reading. I understand it more. And in until now, I train it for about a year, and it's very good. So now I have to use speed reading. It's very hard for me to use just traditional reading. I cannot read it in word by word slowly. It's really hard. Now I feel very familiar. It's like my nature when it is speed reading. So speed reading will be also your nature as well if you train it little by little and little every day. So you will get better on this method. So it take time, and you will get a really happy result because you can save 2 times of your time. You can read it faster. You can deal with your work or deal with your homework, schoolwork, papers faster, and you will have more time. This more time you can do anything you want. You can work more as well if you want to be more productive, or you can play if you have time, right? It's your time. Now it's your world right now. You can do anything. But yes, as I said, it take time, just a little bit. Okay. So be patient. Okay, then we almost finished. It's almost an hour, which is quite a good time in this life. Okay. So now I will talk about some factors that influence our reading, speed reading or concentration. First is about our health, the health state. Health state. If we are in a good health, we are strong, we feel fresh, we can read, we can work, or we can read, or we can learn easily. All right? Yes. So in a good health is it can help us read, learn, work, do anything easier, right? The second is our yes, yes, I know the word only mood. It's different from health, right? It's our mood, our thought, our hormone working. If we are in a good mood, if we are happy, if we are not sad, if we are not depressed, we can also read in quite a very good uh, good speed, right? Very good state. We can remember it pretty well when we have good health and good mood, right? So check your health, check your mood before reading. If you are not so healthy, if you don't feel pretty well, so it will also affect your reading, your learning, your working. So check your health and your mood. The first one is environment around you. Light, sound, smell, uh, how to tell it, the background, right? For example, a library background or building background, nature background will also affect your reading, your feeling about reading, and also some context, some how to tell it with this word, kind of the mood or the feeling when we read something. You understand this, right? When we read about action story, right? We if we read in somewhere like in the building, in many building. So when Superman fly over city and we read it, this story in the building, you will be you get into this feeling, right? Get into this feeling more than read in some place, read in near the river, which is might be different. But if you read, let's say, academic books or academic articles, maybe library environment will be a better choice because you will feel get into it, and it's also quiet. And also there are many reference books in the library, right? If you want to find more reference books, if you want to find more related books, yes, library might be a best choice when you read academic books or academic papers. Okay, but if you read some story about mystery, something like that, so mystery or kind of about detective like that. Yes, in the nature or in kind of a darker place when we read her stories, for example, you will get into that feeling more. So what I want to say is the environment also affect our reading and also our mood. Yes, this also affect together. Okay, the fourth one I used to tell you about light. All right, the light also affect our reading. Light color, light direction, okay, will also affect our reading as well. And I will explain about light more in the next slide. So please wait for a while. The fifth one is smell. Okay, smell also affect our memory, our brain, also our reading because brain, mood, feeling also affect our reading, our memory as well. Okay, in some smells such as uh, let's minute, rosemary. So rosemary smell it will help us increase the concentration. If I don't miss to remember it, okay, it will help us about uh, concentration. Okay, and some smells such as lemon and mint, peppermint, it will boost our memory. So this I get these examples from a book. Okay, rosemary help us improve concentration. And lemon and mint smell help us improve memory. So if we have more concentration and we have a better memory, we can retain and we can remember the story we read better, right? Yes. So smell is also affect to our reading, our brain, our memory, and our concentration. Okay, and the concentration is very important because if you don't, if you cannot concentrate, you will not be able to remember the context, and is the time you spend in the reading is almost useless. So keep concentrate when reading. Okay, when you read something. Now I will go inside about the light. Okay, what I will talk now is the color of the light will affect our reading, our eye muscle. Okay, so let's see in this one, in the above picture, right? I have warm light, warm white light, neutral white light, and cool white light. So different light color have the different effect on our eyes, effect on our brain, and the reading as well. So which one is good and which one is not? Actually, different light color have different benefits. Okay. For example, the warm color here, it will help us. It will help our brain be more creative. Oh, I hope you can see the blue color here. Right. Mm. Yes, I hope you can see. Okay. And for a warm light, when you want to read a book or read something in the night, I really recommend, and not just only me actually, is many researchers recommend to use warm light because in the night we want usually we always sleep like our body, our mind, our body want to rest. So using warm light is kind of not activate our cell activity, our how to say it, our metabolism, okay, kind of metabolism of our body, cell activities, okay, our cells activities. So yes, it's good when we want to read at night, and it also pretty good when we read on a paper because the warm light have, okay, I think I will change the color to a pink one. So let's see. Okay, more creative. This is better than the blue color. Okay, first is help you become more creative, right? Second is it's good when we read at night because it have less blue light, and the blue light is quite kind of activate or make our cells become more active if we use the white light, I mean the blue light in it. So the blue light we will have much in cool white light. So in warm white light we have less blue it's not actually it's blue spectrum in the light. So it's better to use warm light at night. Okay, and when we read on the paper it's also better because blue spectrum also strain our eyes. So using warm light is kind of make our eyes more relief, and yes, it's better to our eyes, not just one eye, two eyes. Okay, then the neutral white light. Okay, before we go to neutral white light, let's see the cool white light first. In a cool white light, it will help us become more concentrate. Okay, more concentrate. So you can see the difference. In warm light, it helps us become more creative. But in cool white light, it will help us become more concentrate. This and in the neutral white light, which is Okay, I just see that there is a typo here. It should be WHITE. Okay, so for neutral white light, okay, which is pretty close to daylight, natural daylight. Let me use natural. It's close to natural daylight, which is more flexible. So I really recommend use this one as possible as you can use, or you can just go outside as you can use the real natural light. That is the best one. Okay, the best one is just your uh, the best one is use real. Oh, dang. Ah, I thought I cannot recover them. Use real uh, sunlight. Okay, is the best choice. Okay, but if we use artificial light, such as from a fluorescent light or a lamp, so if you are reading a books of either from books or from paper or from a laptop from PC, I recommend you to use neutral light first. But if you want to boost your concentration, okay, you can change it to cool white light. But when you before you go to bed or you read it in the bedtime, I recommend you to change to a warm white light because it will help reduce the metabolism activity in our cell, so you can still sleep pretty well. But if we use this neutral light or cool white light, is because it will not support our sleeping mechanism in our body, so it's not good. Okay, use your warm light when you uh, before you go to bed. Okay, and actually there are many, let's say, many tone of color of the light, so you can consult with I don't know what is the exact word in English, but let me say the interior designer. You can consult with them, okay, about this. They knows about the light better than me. Okay, now we go to the next one, the next factors, which are fonts. Okay, font also affect our reading, both font style and font size. Okay, if you can see the first line or which line you can see. In the same line, I have the same font size. Okay, but in the vertical line, I have sorry. In the same line, in the horizontal line, we have different font style. Okay, different font style is in the same line, in the same horizontal line. But in the vertical line, we have different font size. Okay, let me clear it. So let's see the last line because I think it's the biggest one. And for some people who watch this in the smartphone, you can see it's clearer. So let's first consider about the font style. We can see that a different font style affect our reading. You can feel different, um, let's see, kind of different feeling when you read it, when you read them, right? Or you can, if you have many books in your house or in your home right now, you can open them and compare the font style, and you can see different font style. You will feel in a different way of, oh, this one it look uh, more comfortable to me when I read it. Okay, but this one is less comfortable. You can see. Okay. Okay. For some examples I give you now, we have normal fonts with this kind of this one is I think Cordia font, Cordia UPC or Cordia News. Okay, and this one is I really forgot it, but it seemed like kind of a coding, right? When we do coding, yeah, you will see kind of this one. This one is kind of a bold font. This one is Times New Roman. It's a Times News, and this is kind of pretty arty, right? Pretty arty font. Which one you feel more comfortable when you read it? Which one you think you is the easiest one to read? For me, I think this one is make me feel easiest to read because I think it's simple and I can see the clearly different which one is line, which one is kind of a curve in a font in a letter. This one is kind of too thin, this one is too bold and make me kind of hard to read and harder than the first one to read. And this two is Thai Musulman have the is kind of a tail. I don't know how exactly its tail is called, but when there are tails on the letter, it's hard to read for me. And in this one is too arty. So I think the first one, Cordia or some kind of this family of the font, is easiest one for me to read. So I prefer this one when reading. And how about you? Maybe some people will prefer this one or oh, wrong one again. So as some people might prefer this one. Okay, it depends on you. Different people have different preference, right? Okay, but for me, I prefer this one. Then next is about the font size. Okay, the different size have effect when reading. If we see the first line is the smallest size, is when we read this very small size in the book, is you have to uh, put your eye in the book so close to the line. Okay, sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Okay, uh, if your book has quite small font, you have to put that book very close to your eyes, right? Because you have you need to see it clearly, so you have to put it near your eyes. So the small size will put more strain on your eyes, in your eyes muscle, in your eyes balls. So it's not it's when we read the small font in quite the longer time, you will become more, let's say, more tired. Your eyeball, your eye muscles will become tired easily. Okay, when you read a small font. So the bigger font is better for your eyes muscle. So here for the font, bigger font is better, and for the font style, it depend on different people. Okay, so I recommend you if you read a text or article in laptop or in tablet in PC that you can zoom in it. So I recommend you to zoom in a little bit to make the text larger. So it will help you read faster, read with less strain in your eyes. Okay, and yes, you will read it with uh, more, more joyful. Okay, let's say it like that. Yeah. Now it's about the font color and paper colors. or for some people you use laptop or tablet, you can change from just white background, right, or change to a kind of eyes protection background, or kind of how to say it, let's say eye protection in background line the a little brown color. You know that, right? And some people prefer the dark mode. So how this paper color, how the background color, and how font color affect to our reading, affect to our eyes. You can see my example here, right? This uh, this area below the slide. Okay, let's see this first one first. I need to change color. The first one, okay. The font color here I use black color, a totally black color, and the background is a little bit in creamy color, in cream and brown color. So how you feel about this? This is quite comfortable, right, for your eyes, okay? Because the color of the letter and the background is not so contrast, right? But in the second one, the background is white, totally white, and the font is totally black. So it's more contrast than the number one. So your eyes will become kind of more strain on this. Okay, so compare one and two. I prefer I recommend 1/2. Okay, that's why they call this background as an eye protection mode, or kind of I don't know the exact word in English, but it's they have the commercials name about this kind of eyes protection. Yes, it's better for your eyes. Yeah, then you will know this. Okay, and the last one, number three, which many teenagers prefer dark mode, right? Okay, for the font, I in the dark mode, the font is not totally white. It's kind of a little bit gray color. Yeah, kind of gray, gray. No, gray. GREY, right? Gray. A little bit gray color, and the background color is not totally black. It is kind of dark gray. Dark gray. How do you feel about it? So, if your surrounding light, if your environment light is dark, when for example you read uh, in the night, or in the kind of less light, so changing to night mode is make your background and your environment pretty in the same color. So this will also help reduce the contradiction between the page, the laptop, the background color, and the environment. So it will help your eyes become less strain on it. So when you read at night, which is pretty similar to this one, number one, when you read in the day, number one is good, and when you read in the night, number three is good. Okay, so these two, number one and three is, you can see, is better than number two, but in the different surrounding. Like number one may be good in the daylight, in the day, and number three is better in the night. Okay, but for me, I usually use either number one or number two, even in the night, because for Thai people such as me, we will turn on all light to make this surrounding light become bright. So I barely use the dark mode, but it depends on a different environment, right? Because I see in um, different countries, in the night they usually close the surrounding light, and they will open just one lamp. Okay, so in that case, the dark mode will become a more proper choice to you. Okay, now it's finished. This is all I want to tell you to this live, the accelerated reading. Okay, use the speed reading to help you read faster and save your time. Okay, and remember that use your finger when reading, while you read, while reading. So it will help you become more focused and become more concentrated. Okay, and we help you retain kind of remember the word clearer. And another thing to another thing you need to remember is our brain understand things as a picture. So words are just a symbol to trigger that picture. Okay, when you use speed reading, you try to imagine the context as a picture or few pictures. Okay, and you will not forget that context, that picture easily, because our brain remember things as a picture. So the picture will become easier to remember. So uh, remember this. Uh, train your brain. Train your brain to do speed reading. I already gave you 4 attempts right as your workshop, as your homework. You try that, and you will see how faster your reading is. Okay, it might take weeks or well, maybe a month, and you will become more familiar with speed reading. Okay. And I also show you some factors that affect our reading, and this is also important to us. So please consider it and adapt it with your own environment, because in my country I have different environment, different cultures, different lifestyle than yours. Okay, so this is totally all. Okay, I hope you will get the useful information, and I hope you will apply this accelerated reading life in this life and become how to say it become happier with your learning, with your reading. Okay, and in the next life I will go in deep the detail about academic reading, and it will become more specific in student in college, in university, when a student want to read for preparing exam or want to read something to write a paper. So I will make the next live will about the academic reading. Okay, and in this live, accelerated reading is speed reading mostly, and it's general. Okay, either you are student or workers. Accelerate reading, this live speed reading is useful in everyone. Okay, thanks again, everyone. Okay, it is almost 11 p.m. In my time zone. I'm happy to share my knowledge to you. Okay, so see you in the next live, and I can guarantee that the next live is also useful. Okay, thank you so much for everyone watching this live, even in the live or the record video. This video will be recorded and uploaded in my YouTube channel, in this channel, Paulpawit Edu to the Journey as well. Okay, and I will also make a post in Facebook about the uploaded video as well. Okay, thank you so much again. See you in the next live. Bye bye. Bye bye. Mhm.